Why does being an INFJ feels like a curse? Hello, my fellow INFJs. Today, we're going to dive into a topic that's often left unspoken but deeply felt by many of us: why being an INFJ can sometimes feel like a curse. As the rarest personality type in the Myers-Briggs system, we're celebrated for our empathy, intuition, and vision. But these very traits that set us apart can also leave us feeling isolated, overwhelmed, and misunderstood. If you've ever wondered why it feels like the world just doesn't get you, or why your strengths often feel like burdens, you're not alone. In this video, we're going to explore reasons why being an INFJ feels like a curse. From the emotional weight we carry to the constant battle between our inner world and external realities. Let's get started. 1. Feeling misunderstood. INFJs are complex individuals, and our depth can be both a blessing and a curse. While we crave deep connections, our unique way of seeing the world often leaves us feeling misunderstood. You share a deeply thought out idea with a group, but instead of engaging, they brush it off as overthinking. Seek out like-minded individuals who value depth and understanding. Remember, not everyone will see the world as you do, and that's okay. 2. The weight of empathy. Our ability to feel others' emotions is one of our greatest gifts, but it can also be incredibly draining. We often absorb the pain and struggles of those around us, leaving little room for our own emotions. A friend confides in you about a personal crisis, and you feel their pain so deeply that it affects your own emotional state for days. Practice setting emotional boundaries. Remind yourself that you can't pour from an empty cup, and it's okay to step back when you need to recharge. 3. Overthinking everything. INFJs have an innate ability to analyze situations from every angle. While this helps us make thoughtful decisions, it can also lead to paralysis by analysis. You're invited to a social event, and you spend hours weighing the pros and cons of going, only to feel exhausted before you even get there. Practice mindfulness techniques to stay present. Sometimes, the simplest answer is the best one. 4. Struggling to say no. Our desire to help others often makes it hard for us to set boundaries. We say yes to things we don't want to do, leading to burnout and resentment. A coworker asks for your help on a project, and despite being swamped, you agree because you don't want to disappoint them. Learn to say no without guilt. Your time and energy are valuable, and setting boundaries is an act of self-respect. 5. The pressure to save the world. INFJs are idealists with a strong sense of purpose. While this drive can inspire great change, it also creates immense pressure to live up to unrealistic expectations. You're passionate about social justice, but the weight of global issues makes you feel helpless and overwhelmed. Focus on small, tangible actions that align with your values. Remember, even small steps can lead to meaningful change. 6. Difficulty finding true connections. We crave deep, meaningful relationships, but our rarity and complexity often make it hard to find people who truly understand us. You're at a social gathering, but the conversations feel superficial, leaving you feeling disconnected and alone. Seek out communities or groups that align with your interests and values. Quality over quantity is key when it comes to relationships. 7. Being taken advantage of. Our kindness and willingness to help often make us targets for those who seek to exploit our generosity. A friend constantly leans on you for support but never reciprocates, leaving you feeling drained and unappreciated. Recognize the signs of one-sided relationships and don't be afraid to walk away from those who take more than they give. 8. Feeling out of place. As natural outsiders, INFJs often feel like we don't quite fit in anywhere. This can lead to a sense of isolation and loneliness. You're in a group of friends, but you feel like the only one who sees the deeper meaning in things. Embrace your uniqueness and find ways to connect with others who share your values and perspectives. 9. The inner battle. We constantly wrestle between our idealistic inner world and the harsh realities of the external world. This internal conflict can be exhausting. You dream of a career that aligns with your values, but practical considerations make it feel out of reach. Find ways to bridge the gap between your ideals and reality. Even small compromises can bring your dreams closer to fruition. 10. Overwhelmed by sensory input. INFJs are highly sensitive to their environment, which means crowded or chaotic spaces can feel overwhelming. After a long day at work, the noise and commotion of a busy household leave you feeling completely drained. Create a calming space where you can retreat and recharge. Prioritize self-care to maintain balance. 11. Struggling with perfectionism. Our desire to do things perfectly can lead to procrastination and feelings of inadequacy. You're working on a creative project, but your high standards make it hard to finish because it never feels good enough. Set realistic goals and remind yourself that done is better than perfect. Progress is more important than perfection. 12. The emotional roller coaster. Our deep emotional capacity means we feel things intensely, both the highs and the lows. This can be overwhelming at times. A heartfelt movie scene leaves you crying long after the credits roll, while others seem unaffected. Embrace your emotions as a strength, but find healthy outlets to process and balance them. 13. The burden of intuition. Our intuitive insights often give us a sense of what will happen before it does. While this can be helpful, it can also feel isolating when others don't see what we see. You sense that a relationship is headed for trouble, but when you bring it up, others dismiss your concerns. Trust your intuition, but be patient with others. They may need more time to see what you already know. 14. The quest for meaning. INFJs are driven by a deep need for purpose and meaning. While this can lead to fulfilling lives, it also creates pressure to constantly seek more. You're in a stable job, but you feel restless because it doesn't align with your deeper purpose. Focus on finding meaning in everyday moments. Purpose doesn't always have to come from grand gestures. Being an INFJ can feel like a curse at times, but it's also a profound gift. Our depth, empathy, and intuition make us who we are, even if the world doesn't always understand us. By acknowledging these challenges and learning to navigate them, we can turn what feels like a curse into a source of strength and resilience. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with others who might need to hear this message. Remember, you're not alone, and your unique perspective is your greatest strength. Stay true to yourself, and keep shining. Stay safe, and see you in the next one.